attendance is, yeah, you're already here. And we have Administrative Service Director, Mr. Cummings. And do we have anybody else, Mr. Cummings?
Let me open this up wider, you can see it.
Yes, you have Deputy
yes,
Corporation.
Celia,
Celia
yes.
Leonard.
Thank you for coming. We have somebody from Corporate Counsel, so we're represented there. And I think that's it. So first on the agenda is we're going to open up a public hearing on the petition for street acceptance on Sanders Street. Unfortunately, we have nobody who is there, but we're going to go through the motions because we are required. So, therefore, I'll call for testimony in favor. Nobody present, so I'll close testimony in favor to open it to testimony in opposition. Again, no attendance. So I'll move to testimony again in favor. Nobody present, and we'll go to testimony in opposition. Nobody present. Therefore, the public hearing, the petition of street acceptance, Sanders Street, I will declare closed at 7:02. At this time, at 7:02, I will open up the regular meeting of the Committee of Infrastructure, call for public comment. Nobody from the public is in attendance, so we'll skip to communications. Clerk Clee?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. From Sam Durfee, AICP Planning Manager, referral from the Board of Aldermen on petition for street acceptance for a portion of Sanders Street.
Thank you.
From Wayne Husband, PE, Senior Traffic Engineer, Division of Public Works, support of pending legislation 025-069. From Wayne Husbands, PE, Senior Traffic Engineer, Division of Public Works, support of pending legislation 02570.
Okay. There being no objection, I'll accept the communications and place them on file. Without objection, I will also take out the order of positions, out of order positions to be discussed first. And petitions is the first one is the petition for street acceptance on Sanders Street. Can you bring it up on the map for the folks at home? And when you get that, if you can make the motion, take your time, you know.
It's right there. Oops. Of course it is there, but really big. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I motion to grant, deny petition for street acceptance, Sanders Street.
Okay, we're going to go with the motion really should always be in the affirmative. So we'll go with the motion to grant. The committee can change it, of course, but we'll go with the affirmative motion first.
Grant? Okay.
Yeah. And
Or recommend that it be granted.
okay, thank you.
I might suggest that the committee can't actually, grant it, so it would be a recommendation for approval.
That is correct. Yes.
So I can reread my motion to be, I will make a motion to grant petition for, to recommend grant petition for street acceptance, Sanders Street. Would that be correct, Attorney Leonard?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now you know why we have you, Counselor.
You and Attorney Bolton are invaluable.
Yes. Okay, I'll open it up for discussions. Alderman Sullivan.
I just had a city government 101 question. When we accept a petition for street acceptance, are we basically saying this is now a public street? Is that essentially what this does?
Counselors, what do you have to say on that?
The short answer is yes.
Yes.
It becomes public right of way.
But Counselor, isn't it already part of it a public street because it was an address at one time for the former John Mansfield?
Well, I'm afraid, I don't know, did you all get the, Attorney Craven had sent communication, but it was just today, so I don't know if
Yeah.
it made it, oh, okay. All right, so the short story is Sanders Street has been around for a while. It was narrower than what the new design and layouts and traffic patterns required. And part of the site plan was approval required a right-hand turn lane onto Bridge Street. And after it was all constructed, when we were doing our, basically sort of the final due diligence on the project, looking for things like this, dotting i's, crossing t's, it became apparent that in fact the right-hand turn lane that was required and necessary and built was not on, or was not in the Sanders right-of-way. So the land it was on, it was to decide would be, or the street would be dedicated. Now, in a dedication, that's what I corrected myself, because the land does not go to the city. It's a dedication of an easement for public use as a street, which most streets are in the city.
Okay. Satisfy you, Alderman Sullivan? Outstanding. Further discussion? Alderman Clayton.
Thank you. Just so that for the public, and actually even for my, make sure that I understand it correctly, when it becomes a public street, it means the potential for trash pickup, for plowing, and for the city's ownership as well as paving and so on of the street, correct?
Yes, here where it's just though a turn lane, you know, that it doesn't have much import, but generally, yes, making a street public means the city is responsible for it. It also allows for development without further agreements from the city. So if it's not an accepted street of a certain class, you can't develop on it without a certain agreement. But here, that doesn't really matter. Here also, the Sanders Street, including this portion, is subject to a maintenance agreement, so that the developer who's developing, I don't know the name of the complex off the top of my head, the city sold the land to the developer a few years ago. In any event, they're going to be taking care of this street. And it's one of a small handful right now of maintenance agreements that the city has with developers, so it does help maintain the areas. Really, some of these bigger developments want that responsibility because they can make sure their tenants, you know, get plowed out maybe a little sooner because it's not on a primary artery for the city. So normally it would wait longer for the DPW. Not to say they don't do a great job. There's just a lot of roads to travel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, further questions on the petition? Seeing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Council Leonard, are you going to stay with us?
I wasn't planning on it unless there's a specific anything else.
I don't think so.
I think we're going to be all set, because what I was questioning, 02572, regarding disposition of real property, but I think we're going to perhaps table it because the prime sponsor is not here.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
If I may interrupt you, I did get a message from the prime sponsor, and he asked for the legislation to be held. Director Sullivan wasn't free tonight, and so he was going to join via Zoom, but that's not possible because Director Sullivan isn't. So he asked if you could hold the legislation.
Well, that takes care of that.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Very good. Thank you, Alderman Clay. Okay, Counselor, you're all set. Thank you for attending.
Okay, well, thank you, and thank you for allowing my attendance via Zoom this evening.
You are always welcome. We need help
you.
here sometimes. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, we'll move now on to unfinished business.
There is none?
New business resolutions.
There is none?
New business ordinances.
Yes, that is 025-069, authorizing a stop sign on Wilson Street at its intersection with Almont Street.
Could you bring that up? Is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be bringing up.
Yeah.
Once I make the motion.
Okay.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to recommend final passage.
All right. We'll give the clerk a second. All right, here we go. Yep. And Alderman Thibodeau.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, so this is to put a stop sign at the end of Wilson Street where it interfaces with Almont Street. It is right around the corner on Almont Street, and so sight visibility and potential of speeding cars, does increase the potential for danger. It does have favorable recommendation from City Engineer Hudson, and I would like your approval.
Okay. Discussion on the motion. Okay, seeing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, Alderman Clay.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion for I'd like to, 025-078, authorizing stop signs on Macefield Road and Dryden Avenue at their intersections with Peel Road. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to table 025-70.
Okay. We're tabling this as like a courtesy because Alderman Thibodeau could not be with us this evening. And so I think he wants to speak on it. So I don't see an immediate rush with this. It has been approved by the city engineers and everything, but I'm willing to, as your choice, but I am willing to grant the courtesy to a fellow alderman that wants to, wait till a later date. So we'll move this to our next meeting, okay? And with that,
It's non-debatable.
We need a motion.
yeah,
I did. I made the
we
motion.
can't debate it,
Yeah.
but we're
I made
tabling
the
it.
motion.
But I just want to.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
I will allow it. Yeah, because I just spoke longer than I should.
Did the prime,
Usually we're not supposed to.
did the prime sponsor ask? Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why it's on the script as table. That's why
okay,
I said it.
all right, okay.
yeah. This is like a courtesy granted.
Yep.
Okay, the way to look at it. Okay, very good. All those in favor of tabling? Say yay.
Aye.
Yay.
Aye, yeah. Opposed? Nay?
You said nay?
Nothing? No, I'm not.
Okay. Say I have to put it down. Okay, and
No, a
the-
little confusing.
Yes.
Okay.
And the next one?
Yes, please.
025-072, regarding disposition of real property. At this time, I'd like to motion to recommend tabling as well.
Okay.
And there's no debating.
Yeah, there's no debate, but just information. Again, the prime sponsor and other people that could give us more information cannot be available. So with that, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of tabling, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. And we have also previously tabled the Deerwood Drive, but we're not going to bring that out. No wish as of yet. And general discussion or remarks by Alderman?
I just-
Yes,
I-
Alderman Clay.
I just really want to thank everybody on this committee and everybody from last night. It was a long night, and I thought there was a lot of really great debate. And I'd like to thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know you were being a taskmaster, but I appreciated we got out here in the same day that we came in, so.
Well, if I may follow up, I thank you all. You allowed me graciously to do my job and to keep us all on track, and, you guys are the best. I consider our committee one of the best, but please don't tell the others, they'll
No one will know.
they'll get upset, but I think we got the best committee, yes. Alderman Sullivan.
Are we still under general discussion?
Yes, we are.
They're both kind of the same.
Yeah,
I
I'm combining
had-
with Alderman's remarks. too.
I just had a question, going back to, I don't even know what year it was, maybe it was the beginning of 2024, we talked about the parking study. Where is that?
We are still actively, believe it or not, I am working with the parking director, Ms. Stanfield.
Yep.
And right now, we're trying to get focus in on one particular area.
Okay.
This is, and I had a lot of conversation with Alderman Thibodeau. And all I can say is be careful what you wish for with this. A lot of people want it, but picture one of the streets. There's a lot to look at. And what some of the things to look at is you cannot by law park across from a driveway. And there's a lot of driveways downtown. So what looked like a viable parking space, it really isn't, okay? And then also it goes by some streets that were grandfathered or made available in the past don't meet the current code requirements, you know, of width, you know? Because you got to include the snowbanks and the vehicle parked and everything. So it needs to. So we're looking at one and trying to focus on one and only zone to do right now. But here's the thing, if you're on the peripheral of that zone, you're gonna evidently have a sticker placed on your windshield that says you can park in that zone. The next street over is another zone. You cannot park there, you know? And with there's more cars registered in the city of Nashua than there are parking spaces. And what happens is, the typical things we gotta look at is the people themselves. Developers taking a two-family home where there may have been only one car per family, so it was only 2 cars, and they parked in their driveway, and that was all set. Now they took that two-family home and they turned it into 4 to 6 apartments, and you have a gentleman there or a nice lady there that's living in the apartment but has visitors. And like I say, you know, trying to get it, and those visitors would not be allowed a permit, you know, because it's basically looking at some of these streets. We don't have enough linear miles for the cars.
No.
So we're doing it at a snail's pace. And the reason, I'm glad you brought it up, because it gives me the opportunity just to say, why is it going at a snail's pace? Because once, my opinion, we let the cat out of the bag, it's going to be difficult, such as in the streets that were already granted. You know, I don't think we really can go and then yank it back. You know, then we look like, you know, I was going to say an old term from my childhood, but it's not culturally correct now. But, you know, we're not going to, you know, do it. So we only get the one opportunity to do it right, and that's why the snail's pace with it. I understand, you know, it would be a convenience to our constituents, but it may be just because you have your apartment in that area out in front of your apartment, that's not your space. That's a public parking.
Yep.
And somebody 2 streets over that are in the zone could park there legally. So it's not really the panacea that they may believe is what it is. So we got to do it right.
Okay.
And I admit, yeah, it looks like we're dragging the mill wheel, you know what I mean, with this, but it has to be done. But there is the committee. We're working with Desmond Enterprises, Mr. Andy Hill, and there was a meeting today, and I think there's a meeting next week that we have with them. And because of the encouragement with Alderman Thibodeau, we're more trying to get into focus and trying to get a zone where we could start with. And if we do it right, then that could be the template for the rest of the city. Like in my situation, in our situation, Alderman Sullivan of Ward 9, you know, you could park on both sides of the street and I can have
Yeah, it's not
the
an issue.
Macy Day Parade come right down Woodfield Street.
Yep.
And it's not really an issue. But unfortunately, with some of the other neighborhoods in Alderman Clee's ward and everything else, it is. Is it fair? It's not. I mean, these streets were designed for horses and carts, and the stables are still in the back of some of these, that's now called a garage, you know, so.
No, I was just curious where it was.
Yeah, no, it's a legitimate question, and I'm glad that you asked it, because I hope it kind of gets out there that, you know, Ms. Stanfield, as Director of Parking, you know, is, you know, on top of it, realizing
she's
it.
good.
But it's, I really don't see a big parade coming down Main Street once it's completed, you know, because it's got to come enforcement-wise and everything else like that, its own set of issues. So that's a circle all the way back of what I said. Be careful what we wish for. We got to build it right from the beginning. Alderman Dowd.
I was just ready to make a final
Oh,
motion.
can
Oh,
I say something?
Alderman Clee would like to pipe in.
Thank you.
Her ward is a
Yeah, my ward is, I've been complaining a lot that I need this parking as well. I will be honest with you, I like the zones that, creating these little tiny neighborhoods, because the way it is now, when you get an overnight parking pass, you can park anywhere in the city. So, you know, you go to visit someone and there's an overnight parking space there, you can use that, where the people in that area have been using it, now suddenly they can't. And I think it gives us a better planning as to what is the need of the area. But I do hope that when we are dealing with this, that we have a review process.
Oh,
That,
yes.
in other words, that we look at the neighborhood and say, okay, who is interested in this, and they apply for it, and maybe there's going to be more that apply than there are spots available. May have to work on a lottery, but that maybe every year or every 2 years, we make sure, because like in my ward, we have a lot of people who live in apartments. And, you know, a year later, they may be gone. And in the past, the sticker or the no parking, the overnight parking is granted to the car and the owner, the vehicle of it, and not the owner of the property, which I agree with. I don't think that landlords should necessarily be the ones granted the spaces.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Thank you, I
Alderman
appreciate it.
Clee has rightfully so brought up a lot of questions with it. It is, some of these people are transient, and can they take the sticker with you? And, you know, if they declare an address, these are all questions we're going to have to.
Sure.
And as you can see, you know, it's like digging the tombs in Giza, you know what I mean? Once you scratch here, you got something else popping up, so. But, like I say, we have a great guy in Mr. Hill. He's an engineer and has worked with other municipalities on that, so it works out good. Alderman Dowd, 1 second, because I got to do it so they can say that I did it, and that is public comment. Nobody's in attendance, so we'll move to Alderman Dowd and our favorite motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion is to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, and, well, declare us adjourned at 7:24 PM. Thank you, everybody.